Hey there everybody out here, this is CrazyWargamerz Christian here with a third edition of Know Your Foe. Today I'm going to be playing a little bit of Devil's Advocate, being a Chaos Space Marine player myself. I'm going to be doing the Know Your Foe for Chaos Space Marines. Let's delve in a little bit to the Chaos Space Marines. I'm really a fan of their fluffs. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. I've got an inkling for it, so I got to do it. Chaos Space Marines are the Traitor Legions. They're basically Space Marines, but they have given their souls to the Dark Gods in exchange for power beyond their wildest dreams. Some just pray to the gods and do them favors and do whatever the heck the gods want them to, just for a chance to get wealth and riches that they normally would not get in the loyalist chapters. Some, on the other hand, aspire to great lords and demon princes. Some want to wield the power of the warp themselves, those being sorcerers. But all in all, the Chaos Space Marines, I've got to admit, are one tough foe to beat. Same with Space Marines. They all get the same armor saves, mostly the same weaponry, but the Chaos Space Marines don't. The Chaos Space Marines don't have as wide access to the armory of the Imperium as the Imperium itself gets. And that actually goes into one of our topics. It actually goes into one of our sections here with the Know Your Foe Chaos Space Marines. Let's just delve into a few of the Chaos Space Marine strengths. Chaos Space Marines are excellent at close combat. They're just as good as Space Marines, but with a huge bonus. A basic Space Marine has the equipment of a bolter, power armor, bolt pistol, and frag and crack grenades. We all know what frag and crack grenades do. The frag grenades are assault weapons. It allows them to assault in cover, or move through cover and assault through cover without taking the initiative dock. And what we know about having a pistol is it allows you to have an assault weapon. Bolters are rapid fire. You can't shoot a bolter and go into assault. Even if you're holding still, you can't do that. And with a bolt pistol, you can do that. Pistols mainly all have a range of 12. Most pistols have a range of 12. The average one being the bolt pistol or the shuriken pistol. They all have a range of 12. And the bonus on that is allows you a close combat weapon. Now the Space Marines, basic Space Marines of the Space Marine Legions, Space Marine chapter, Loyalist Legions, they all have just a bolt pistol for their close combat. They don't have the additional +1 for a close combat weapon because all they've got is a bolt pistol. So in combat, they're only getting one attack unless they have some sort of special war gear. For Chaos Space Marines, here's a listing of their war gear. I've actually got the codex in my hand. What kind of a Chaos player would I be without the codex? The basic Chaos Space Marine comes with power armor, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, close combat weapon, and a bolter. What does that mean? They're getting an extra attack. Basic Chaos Space Marines have one attack, just like regular Space Marines. They all have just one basic attack, but added in it they have a bolt pistol and close combat weapon already included in their profile. This can be a spike on their hand, it can be a combat knife, chain axe, chain sword, whatever. They've got it. It can be anything. It can be a wooden stick for all they care. That's covered in blood and spikes and has an icon of corn on it. So that means that they're more adept at close combat than Space Marines are. They certainly have access to way more devastating troops than the regular Space Marine army does, but the Space Marine army has more access to more violent weapons. We'll go into that later. But right now we're taking a look at the Chaos Space Marines close combat capabilities. Chaos Space Marines have, of course, an extra close combat weapon. That gives them 2 attacks, basic. Added in that they, by whatever means, have the mark of corn, giving anybody who has an extra attack, which means if the Chaos Space Marines have an icon bearer with the icon of corn, it's going to give them 2 attacks, basic, 3 added in the close combat weapon in close combat, not to mention 1 more if they get on the charge, should they have that. And they have one of my favorite units of all time, Corn Berserkers. Corn Berserkers have a base attack of 2. That's the 1 for the basic for a Space Marine, plus 1 for the icon of corn. It's already included in their profile. And they have 1 more because they have a bolt pistol and a close combat weapon. Of course, Corn Berserkers aren't as good as range as, say, regular Chaos Space Marines. They don't have a bolter, they just have a bolt pistol. But Corn Berserkers have weapon skill 5. Not to mention they get Furious Charge should they get the charge. Which, trust me, if you're not a Chaos Space Marine player and you're getting attacked by Corn Berserkers, you do not want them to get the charge. You want to gun them down as quick as possible. Corn Berserkers, also, when they get the Furious Charge, we all know what that does. Boost your strength up by 1, and boost your initiative up by 1. With that high weapon skill, they're going to be ripping things to pieces. So, point 1 of the Chaos Space Marine strengths is they are better at close combat. They are a more adept close combat army than Space Marines. Another thing that makes the Chaos Space Marines so tough is they have access to quite a few devastating psychic powers, whereas the librarians of the main chapters and maybe some of the maybe some of the psychers of the Eldar, like a Farseer, have capabilities that simply boost boost the abilities of their brethren, or maybe hinder the abilities of the enemy, like the librarians of the Loyalist chapters has the Null Zone, which nullifies all invulnerable saves, forces you to re-roll them, which wreaks havoc on demons. The psychic powers of the Chaos Space Marines, really all they do is either benefit the one who's using it, or cause serious damage to anyone that's part of the enemy forces. Like here, let's take a look at a few of the best ones. We've got Lash of Submission. This isn't one that does any direct damage, but it certainly screws with people. Let's look at the description for Lash of Submission. A glowing whip of immaterial energy snakes out from the sorcerer's hand and lashes across the battlefield. Those caught within its ethereal barbs are momentarily enthralled to the psyker's will. A psyker may use this power in the shooting phase instead of using another ranged weapon. Pick any non-vehicle enemy unit visible to the psyker within 24 inches, and then take a psychic test in order to use this power. If the test is successful, the target is moved 2d6 by the Chaos player. It's not slowed by difficult terrain, and of course it may not be moved off the table, but dangerous terrain tests are taken. And the kicker to this, not only do you have to take a pinning test, but you don't need to hit with that. Chaos players don't need to hit with that weapon. They just roll the psychic test. If they're within 24 inches, that sucker's being moved. So if there is a sorcerer on the field, try to take him out. Of course, don't focus all of your firepower on the sorcerer. He can only target one unit, ever. So that's one of my favorites. And another one is Bolt of Change. It's essentially a multi-melta that's assault. It's really nasty. It's an assault multi-melta that can be equipped on any sorcerer, or demon prince should they have it, which we'll go into that in a little bit too. And of course there's Gift of Chaos, which is one that's going to kill really take out any independent character, even if it says they're immune to instant death. Marnius Calgar, for instance. Here's the idea for the Gift of Chaos. Gift of Chaos is if they're within 6 inches, at the beginning of the Chaos player's turn, he can roll the psychic test. Should he pass, he picks a model within 6 inches. If the model within 6 inches is found, if the model is found to be within 6 inches, the Chaos player rolls a d6. If the roll scores higher than the victim's toughness, they are immediately turned into a shapeless blob of flesh, and they are removed as a casualty. And here's the kicker for that one: as no wounds are taken, no saves apply. So there's no weaseling your way out of that. And a 6 is always a success, even if their toughness goes beyond 6, or if their toughness is 6. Like, say, a Wraith Lord. Wraith Lord's toughness is 8. If you got a Wraith Lord, keep it out of the way of the Psyker. It's a 1 out of 6 chance, yeah, but that's still a chance that your big old nasty Wraith Lord that can kill just about anything he touches is going to go down. It's going to be hard to kill one of those things. It's going to be hard to kill a Wraith Lord, yeah, but a Gift of Chaos can turn it against you. So be aware of that. The psychic powers by the Chaos Space Marine players are incredibly devastating. Another thing that the Chaos Space Marine players have is access to summoned demons. I love using summoned demons in my force. I love summoning lesser demons onto the battlefield. Here's the good thing with summoned demons. Normal units who deep strike can't assault on their turn. Can't assault on the turn that they come into play. That is one thing that is seriously going to kill anybody who's got an assault favoring army. Like, say, for Tyranids, which not a lot of their things can deep strike, but now with the new Codex, they get Mycetic Spores, which function as Space Marine drop pods almost, with different weapon selection, and they don't have an armor value. They have 4 wounds, I think a toughness 6. It's been a while since I've held the Tyranid Codex. The lesser demons have to be summoned within 6 inches of an icon bearer. It doesn't matter what chaos icon it is, it just says within a chaos icon. That doesn't mean an icon of chaos glory, which that can be used. It's not restricted to it though. So if you have an enemy, if you're fighting a chaos player who's using summoned lesser demons, which have to come in on the turn that they're rolled for, if they roll, of course, 4 on turn 2, 3 on turn 3, so on and so forth, they will be coming in, and if they can deploy within 6 inches of the icon. Here's the thing: they don't really need a valid deep strike formation. It says one model must be within range of 6 inches of the icon. It doesn't say anything else about the others. Let's look into that. As a matter of fact, let me flip to the page, making sure I got this right though, because I always the lesser demons are pretty devastating. It doesn't matter what demon they are. They can be a demon of Khorne, they can be a demon of Slaanesh, demon of Nurgle, Tzeentch, whatever. They all have a set profile, force across the board. They're basically Space Marines without any range capability, and their invulnerable save is a 5. But here's the thing. Whenever a Chaos player summons a squad of lesser demons, the typical mindset is to either use them as a distraction, because if you don't get rid of them, they're gonna cause a little bit of a problem, or they have the idea to summon them in, hold a squad off for a while, like say your heavy units, like your Space Marine Devastators, or your Eldar Dark Reapers, or if you're playing Tau, they're probably going to hold off your Fire Warriors to keep the Fire Base out of the way, or maybe take out the Crisis Suits. They may not be all that tough, but they're gonna cause a little bit of a problem. The Chaos Space Marines can summon not only lesser demons, but greater demons. Greater demons, monstrous creatures, weapon skill 8, strength 6, toughness 6, and I believe initiative 4. Let me take a quick peek. Yep, initiative 4, 5 attacks, leadership 10, they're fearless, and they're immune to instant death. So that's going to be a problem. But the bad part with the greater demons is that they must, whenever they come in their turn, they have to take the role. They have to take the body. They pretty much have to possess and take the body of a Spiring Champion, a Sorcerer, a Termi Champion, Chaos Lord, Chaos Sorcerer, somebody of that degree that says Champion, which can be Plague Champion, Noise Champion, Skull Champion, Spiring Sorcerer, Regular Sorcerer, or Chaos Lord of any shape and size, or Termi Champion, or Possessed Champion. It just says Champion. So somebody of high power must be offered as a sacrifice to bring in a greater demon. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of greater demon they have. They can have a Great Unclean One, Bloodthirster. Good God, I hate those things. A Lord of Change or a Keeper of Secrets. Doesn't matter. That thing can come in, and not only can it come in on that turn, but it can also launch an assault. If it launches an assault, it's going to take out your Dreadnought. It's going to take out any walker you got. It's going to cause problems. So, and not to mention it's a monstrous creature, so it's not going to allow you any armor saves. Greater demons are going to really just piss you off the whole game. They're immune to the instant death, so force weapons aren't going to do anything to it. Neither can any instant death weapon like what's one that the Space Marines use? Oh yeah, the Vortex of Doom. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Vortex of Doom is one that I've seen in action, but it doesn't work all the time, because if it scatters, it's going to be a waste of time. But if it does hit, it hits with such devastating power. It can take out a whole squad of Khorne Berserkers or a whole squad of Orc Boys and just cause problems. So let's look at the strengths again for the Chaos Space Marines. They have the benefit of close combat. They have a better close combat ability than the Space Marines, and they're typically a little bit mean with it. They have a lot of powerful psyker abilities. Their psychic powers are mainly either to benefit the user or to really destroy anything they touch. So, and another thing that you got to look at is they can summon in the demons. The demons that they can summon in are brutal. They can cause problems for anybody, and they can hold up your heavy support choices. That can, like your Havocs or your Devastators or your Dark Reapers or even just basic firing guys, they can hold off and destroy that fire base and stop them from shooting at you.